Hola! Happy Valentine's Day. Today I'm going to tell you an iconic love. But first, I need to give you a little backstory. Now, I think most of us have heard of Autumn Ra. Yes? Most of us probably believe that the ancients believed that he was the god of the sun. Ra, meaning sun. But did you know? Not only did he create himself, but he created the universe with his own seed by his own hand, created in his image. It wasn't until 1799 when the French invaded Egypt that they found the Rosetta Stone, and all of these wonderful writings that were left for us were able to be transcribed. I think it's important to remember, though, that when they were transcribed throughout the 18 and early 1900s, a lot of the blank spots would be inferenced with the current cultural thoughts and beliefs of that time. Whitewashing. So while you've heard of the god Autumn Ra, someone you haven't heard of is the wives of Autumn Ra. Now, with the ancient Egyptians, their religious beliefs and their gods were a huge part of the cultural identity. And we know this from the writings they left, from the inscriptions on the walls, from the scrolls, the tablets, the scarabs, the stories they told. So the wives of Autumn Ra are said to be the highest ranking priestess. I personally believe was a little bit more. The wives would choose each of their successors, and on the wedding day, in the ceremony, they would enter a temple in which there was a depiction or statue of the god, and the wives would consummate the marriage. Now, as a wife of the god, they would receive many of the gifts and luxuries befitting somebody of, but with that came great responsibility. The wives were considered to be the mediator between the pharaoh and the god, the voice of God. Now, that's an incredible amount of power and influence. So much so that the wives of the god, their names would actually be put in a cartouche. Now, a cartouche is the little kind of oval that goes around the name that is generally referred to being reserved for only pharaohs. But in fact, the wives of the god, their names would also be in the cartouche, suggesting that they have equal power and influence of the pharaoh. One of the most famous names of a wife of Autumn would be that of Hatshepsut, the pharaoh. Now, it is said that she only relinquished her title of the wife of the god when she became pharaoh. I don't believe that. Who divorces God? She just took on the title of pharaoh. One more thing to note is that Nefertiti, Nefertari, and Neferturu were all very different people who lived in different eras. But they all had influence, and all whose names are still recognized today. Now, the word Nefer, the hieroglyphic that describes it, is that of the heart and trachea, and it is believed to mean beauty, goodness, perfection. I think in today's vernacular, we might say iconic. Now, at the end of the 18th dynasty, there was no heir or pharaoh left, so we began the 19th dynasty. Ramses I was not born of noble blood, but he married a wife of the god Autumn, and her rank and title and influence allowed for him to rise to the rank of pharaoh. So when Ramses II came into power, he was gifted a lot of sister wives. Now, throughout his reign, he collected maybe 200 wives, but one of these gifts that he received was his wife named Nefertari. Not only did Nefertari bear him his first male heir, but she was also chosen to be a wife of the god. Now, some may believe that the reason that Nefertari was the most favorited of all the wives of Ramses II is because she was of power and influence as the voice of God, and also because she birth his first male heir. However, there are reasons to believe, a great many reasons to believe, that it was because of his undying and unwaveringly love of. We know this not only because of the temples and tombs that he had erected in her honor, but also because there are stories of times where Ramses II would need to go out of town on business or attend events that normally one of his wives or consorts would not attend with him, but he would insist that Nefertari attend. He also wrote great love poems for her, one of which is paragraph after paragraph, describing her exquisite beauty, from the scent that she would leave in the halls to her long, slender neck, her raven black hair, and her big, scrumptious booty. Now, I'm paraphrasing a loosely translated part of that poem where he writes, "My love is unique. No one can rival her, for she is the most beautiful woman alive, and just by passing, she has stolen my heart. My love for her is unique. No one can rival her, the most beautiful woman, Nefertari, the beauty of beauties." Their intense, undying love of each other has lasted, the stories of them and their names have lasted for thousands and thousands of years, as a love that has truly transcended time. Now that's iconic.